do begin our coffee talk with some follow-ups to a few stories that we've talked about during coffee talk over the last couple of weeks. So first up, you remember the president of Tokyo's 2020 Olympics?
Oh, with the women thing?
Oh, we have a follow-up to it. Yeah, he is reportedly stepping down after making the women thing sexist remarks. Earlier this month, the president, Yoshiro Mori, came under pressure after comments were leaked that he said, quote, "Women talk too much during meetings." Organizers of the Tokyo Olympics were due to hold a gathering of its council and executive board Friday to discuss the remarks. However, he has now stepped down.
Wow.
I think
he talked too much.
I think he did. And I think we talked about this just last week. And if you weren't with us last week, they were talking about raising the amount of women on their board. And he said, oh, if we do that, they're going to talk way too much. The meetings are going to go forever. Yeah.
Well, you know what? As it turns out, it's not how much you say, but what you say that really matters, apparently.
I think so.
Yeah.
So he is stepping down. And are we still going to call it Tokyo 2020? Are we going to turn it to 2021
I don't know,
Olympics?
but maybe all the signage and the logos were already done.
I bet they were.
Yeah. Well, also new this morning, the NBA says all teams are required to play the national anthem in keeping with long-standing league policy. All teams. This comes just a day after the Dallas Mavericks owner Mark Cuban said that Star-Spangled Banner would not be played at home games. While the anthem has not been played at any of the 13 preseason or regular season games that have been played so far, Cuban says he had altered the pregame ritual because of those who do not feel it represented them. So is this a offshoot of the kneeling?
I think
Is this a way to circumnavigate that and say, I recognize as the owner of this club that some members don't feel represented, some members of this club, and in recognition of that, we're not even going to play the anthem. Not taking it one step farther, but taking the pressure off of the players by putting it on himself.
That's a good point. But now the NBA has come out and said it needs to be played at every game. Excuse me. But in football, we have seen a few times where the teams just don't come out yet. So I don't know if he's going to think about that. And then, of course, for the Americans who are very proud to stand for the national anthem, this has hurt them seeing all this stuff too.
Well, he has not shied away from fines in the past. So if he can afford to pay the fine. So we'll see how long this lasts and how it ends up.
Yeah. Stay tuned. Well, right now, some of you might be watching Great Day from a doctor's office. And thank you to all those doctors' offices that do play Great Day. We love you for it. And thanks to COVID-19, America will have a new generation of doctors in just a few years. Get this, applications to 155 U.S. medical schools are up more than 35% this year. Kids, that is huge.
It is.
We're not saying like a couple of applications, we're saying a whole lot. Officials say many people are inspired to become healthcare workers because of the pandemic, and they want to help on the front lines. So News 4 reached out to see the impact on the local medical schools. WashU Med School tells us applications are up 25% from last year, and applications from students of color are up 63%.
Well, that's good.
It really is. And St. Louis University says their med school applications are up 28%. I think it'll be so interesting, Kent, to see all the different jobs and job opportunities and just different career paths that come out of this pandemic and kind of the recession.
Yeah.
It happened in 2009. A lot of people changed their jobs. And that does bring us to our Facebook question. If you could go back in time and choose a different job or career path, what would you do? Ken?
I don't know. Mine kind of chose me. That's an interesting one. I was headed down a much different path, but yeah, it's an interesting question. And you know, when I've interviewed people over the years, That's a question that if you weren't doing this, what do you think you'd do? They always go, oh,
I hadn't
thought about that because you get it. Sometimes you feel like the career finds you. You know, that's how I kind of feel about mine. But I don't know what to say there.
We want to hear from all of you.
Yeah. All right. We're going to wrap up coffee talk with some talk about coffee. Good news, all you cup of joe sippers like myself. Black coffee may be helping your heart.
Woohoo!
It's a study from the American Heart Association that found that drinking 1 or more cups of black caffeinated coffee a day, black and caffeinated, was associated with long-term reduced risk of heart failure. The opposite was true for decaf, apparently. But beware, the study warns if you add dairy, sugar, or other creamers to that black coffee, that could negate the heart-healthy benefits.
So when you go to your doctor for your annual checkup, do they ever ask, are you a coffee drinker? No, I've never been asked that either.
No. But fortunately for me, I guess, I am a black coffee drinker. I like my coffee rich and dark and black. I don't put anything in it.
Really?
Now, occasionally, and I mean occasionally, like a handful of times a year, I might have some kind of a frozen coffee drink if we go to Starbucks. Kendall likes to go to Starbucks, and maybe I'll get something on a weekend or whatever, but that's very rare.
And when you do the frozen drinks, do you get the sugary ones?
Oh, yeah, I'll get the caramel or the mocha or whatever, you know, the frappuccinos. But again, I'm a firm believer that if you're a good scorekeeper and you do everything in moderation, occasionally you splurge a little bit and give yourself a treat. You know, that's not gonna. I don't want to say that's not gonna kill you, but I guess that's what I should say.